Hey, what's up? It's Doug Cunnington here. This is just the live Q&A for Friday. I hope people can hear me. I'm going to check that out in just a second. I see we have a few people on already. We got Lance. What's up? You already asked a question. Cool. Wesley's on. You got a question in there too. So we'll get rolling here in just a minute. I mentioned, I think in the description, I have a hard stop at like 10:45, may even stop a little sooner. I'm basically brewing a batch of beer right now, so I'm a little busy. I didn't start the brew day as soon as I should have, and you know, it happens sometimes. Let's see if the sound works here. Let's see what we got going on.
Brewing a batch.
Oh yeah, sound is working. Fantastic. Cool. Cool. All right. So we'll start getting into the questions here in a second. I see we got like 14 people on. Say what's up. Quick note, if you are going to ask a question, hit pound Q, and it'll just make it a little bit easier for me to like sort through all the chat stuff going on. So, all right, looks like sound's working pretty good. No one's complaining about it, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to try to, my chat window is kind of small over here, so I'm going to try and make it bigger, but I don't know if I can do that. Okay, let's get to it. By the way, if it's your first time on, just give me a shout. Let me know about that. I think we're going to have quite a few people on today, maybe. It's unclear to me. It's unclear until it's too late. All right, I'm going to get into it because we don't have much time. All right, Lance asks, what's my opinion on growing backlinks through social media posts? I haven't done it personally. My guess would be it's probably a waste of time. Basically, any kind of link that anyone can do for free is probably not going to be very worthwhile because everyone can do it for free. It's sort of like takes it out of the equation. So not literally takes it out of the equation, but I've never done it. I think it's probably a waste of time. If anyone has done it and wants to share in here, let Lance know, but probably a waste of time. Wesley says, if I'm trying to track when KGR content begins to get views, do I find Google Analytics or Webmaster Tools more accurate? Google Analytics is more accurate. Like Webmaster Tools doesn't give you data on visits. It gives you data on like rankings and other webmastery things. Analytics literally gives you analytic data. So that's what you need. Varun, what's up? Thanks for joining. Lorraine, awesome. Glad you're on. You found some long tail keywords using the KGR, but the first page on Google seems hard to beat, judging by the PAs and DAs. Do I use Moz to determine competitiveness? No, not kind of, but not really. Here's the thing. The KGR works because of all the other data that you're finding for it. So generally the PAs and DAs may not apply or be helpful. So why don't you publish one of the articles and see what happens. Adrian, what's up? Good to have you on. Paul, yo. Good to see you on here. Steven's on. Polina is on as well and says, you embedded a YouTube video in one of your posts. It's a quick summary of all the products you reviewed in the post, but in the video. Okay, that sounds cool. I mentioned the prices under 80, 100, and so on. Is that allowed or should I remove it from your site? It depends on how you present it. So like if you are, you know, are you saying, and it's unclear to me if it's on your video or if it's on your site. I do know that people that do YouTube videos will like show the page of the product from Amazon and say, you know, at the time that I recorded it, this is the price. Now, I'm not sure if that's allowed, but I see a lot of people doing that. And I mean, that's all they can really do. They can't list like other pricing or anything like that. As far as like blah, blah, blah product under a certain amount, if you list it on your site and it's accurate, then you're probably okay. If it's not accurate, then it's probably not a good thing. So not a very good answer, but I haven't found that documentation specifically. I've called the Amazon Associates help support line, and I've asked that, and they couldn't give me a straight answer either. I called like 2-3 times, couldn't get a straight answer. Lorraine says, what can I do except for link building to up my rankings? Should I change my title, add more content? Yeah, you could do all those things. Yeah, so you can change your title, you could add more content, backlinks. I mean, you have on-page and you have off-page stuff to consider. And beyond that, I'm not sure what else you could work on. Okay, Polina says, should I put comparison tables to your review posts, or do I think it's unnecessary? Totally up to you. You can put them in if it's helpful, right? If you think it's helpful, put them in. If it's not helpful, don't put them in. I put them in probably 50% of the time, not all the time though. Paul says, how do I figure out what post to direct backlinks to? Whatever page I want to rank, that's where I put the backlinks to. Super easy to figure that one out. Just whatever you're trying to rank, that's where the links need to go. Adrian says, hi, Doug. Thanks for your time. You're welcome. Would you say it's okay to use a PBN and Web 2.0s just to get started with your new website, and after a while stop using them as soon as you have traffic? Okay, so a lot of my answers are, hey, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want, but I think people actually want to know what I'm doing. So do I think it's okay to do it? Yeah, there's more risk involved if you do things that are like gray hat against the Google terms of service, then you're at a higher risk for your site to be penalized early on, later on, whatever. Can you start your site to get going, and then as soon as you have traffic, stop using them? Sure, you could do that, but I think your assumption is it's going to be faster, but it's not going to be faster. It's going to take the same amount of time as like if you got white hat links. So you may feel like you have more control if you could just pay for links and get them at some schedule, whatever your budget allows, but you don't have as much control because you don't know which links are actually going to work. I mean, if you go and buy links from a network, you don't know where the links are coming from. You don't know if they're actually going to work, and it may take a long time for them to kick in, you know? So you really don't know if you're getting good links. So you really don't have that control that you may feel that you have. And then again, if your assumption is it's going to be faster, I think you're wrong. I mean, I'm not saying you specifically, but if there are other people that are saying, hey, you can rank a site in 2 to 3 months using PBNs versus like 4 to 6 months, like white hat, I would like to see like more data on it. And by the way, I have a lot of friends that use PBNs. They work well. However, it's not faster. So that's my answer. And here's what you need to think of, Adrian. What's your risk tolerance? If you work for, say, like 8 hours a week on your site for like, I don't know, 4 months or something, and then it gets, say you're making $500 a month at that point, and then it goes away like overnight, how much will that impact you? Are you going to be pretty upset? Not very upset? Or are you just going to say, oh, well, hey, it was a good run? Because I could tell you, I didn't like it when that happened, so I stopped doing it. Okay, moving on. Lorraine says, how do I recommend inserting very long tail keywords multiple times inside a post without making it sound awkward? Great question. Don't insert it multiple times inside a post. That's the answer, because it's awkward to have a long phrase like that. So just put it in like in the title and then one other time. So 2 times max. All right. Paulina says, referring to the previous question, the price ranges are only in the video. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Paulina. I think it's probably okay if you're accurate. And if you're saying, hey, at the time of shooting this video, the price range was under X amount. Paul says, how do I use Google Webmaster Tools to figure out what new content to add? Either KGR existing or adding to existing content. Paul, that's a really good question. There's a lot of data in the Google Webmaster Tools area on keywords. I don't use it at all though. So if you can extract data similar to what you can see in like SEMrush. So sure, you could go in there, pull up the CSV of what your site's ranking for, check on what you're ranking for in the like number 2 to number 15 range for that ranking, and then you know, take it from there. So Paul, I don't use it, but you could use it like that. All right, Varun says, is it okay to write about contents from any product related magazine or any online product information source? No, it's not illegal to do that. You have to make sure you're not violating any like copyright stuff by like copying it, but you can literally write about whatever you want. So you should be totally fine there. Brandon, what's up? It's great to see you on again, my man. Joseph, hey. And what else do we got here? What else do we got? Okay. Scrolling through this. Okay. Okay, and Sarah asks, the light kit is working out really well. Which one was it again? It's funny, I haven't actually used it for any videos that you've seen. This light that I have right here, so I just have the window open over there, and then the light that I have here is not from a kit. It's like one of these, it's like a newer 160 LED. I know it's kind of bright, but there's a little, a little demo. You could make it not that bright or like really bright. So, and I just have it on my desk because it's very bright from the window, but I realize it looks kind of weird if I turn it off, although like if it's not shining on me at all. It's just kind of strange like that, but that's good. The other kit that I have, I'd have to look it up, but it was like $45, and I'm gonna start, probably what I'm gonna do is like set up the lights, shoot like, I don't know, a couple hours worth of video, and then have that sort of queued up and edited so that I could publish it over time. Because I mean, it's actually pretty fast to set up the light kit, but it takes up a lot of room. And like once I set up the camera and all this other stuff, like it's just kind of nice to like set it up, batch a whole bunch of shooting at one time, and then take it from there. So I'll probably, when I get out the light kit, it may actually be one of the videos where I just, you know, take a picture of my little setup, and then I could share which light kit it was. Adrian, thank you though, Sarah, for noticing the lighting. Adrian says, I should keep some questions for when we do the course, but you can't help it. Okay, cool. How do you better structure a niche site? A basic homepage and all your articles on separate posts. Yeah, that's it. Basically, Adrian, you'll find everything I tell you is like probably the simplest thing that you could possibly do in every single case. So usually that's just the best thing to do. So yeah, a homepage and then posts, basically. Lorraine asks, how can I rank my site title and tagline? For example, little cat tips, the best, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, I would say you should get links to whatever page that is using the anchor text that you want to rank for. That's how you would do it. And Vicus says, how to check the quality of articles delivered by the writers. I find it hard to judge the words. Please tell me. Thanks. All right. It sounds like maybe you're not a native English speaker, but that's okay. So you should hire an editor to read it for you and then correct it. I just skim the articles that I get back. I don't read them at all. So I just get it to my editor, they read it, and that's what you should do too. Ronit says, the site you sold for $235, what niche was that on? I don't share that. Sorry about that. There's some like non-disclosure stuff, so I can't share that. Brandon says, what do I recommend for scaling a site that's almost a year and a half old and doing around 800 visitors per month? Earnings are around $100 per month right now. It's actually pretty good for 800 visitors a month. That's not much. I would say take a look at either your content or your links, and then either add more content or add more links to it. You can do an audit and find out like if there are some pages that are kind of almost ranking, almost getting a little bit more traffic, but they just need a little push. And I would take it from there. So first, see if there's anything that you can give a little push to move up in the rankings. And then after that, see if you need more content or more links. I mean, almost everything like goes to those three things. So Brandon, I would say, I mean, that's a pretty good like profit to visitor ratio. Josh says, what are my thoughts on getting brand and naked URLs from Web 2.0s and press releases? Josh, I have almost no thoughts on it. I would say it probably is not going to be helpful. But I haven't tried it myself in the last 3 years. So I would say if you're interested, test it for yourself to find out. My guess is it's probably not going to help you much, because like if I could go and get a bunch of Web 2.0s and press release naked URLs to like give me a boost, I'd probably do it, but I don't think it's going to work. Paul says, follow-up question. What if there are numerous posts you want to rank for? Should I focus all the backlinks to a single post or spread it out? I would say you should probably work on one at a time. So if there's numerous posts you want to rank for, work on one at a time. You're probably not going to be able to rank for all of them all at once, so you're probably better off focusing. Sarah asked, do links and tables plus links in your product descriptions create too many affiliate links on a page? It could. It depends on how many links you have on the page and how many words you have on the page. So I would probably be more conservative than aggressive, because like if someone wants to click on the item and see it on Amazon, like they're probably going to figure out how to do it. Like you don't have to put like hundreds of links on there. I mean, let's think about it for a second. Let's say I have a post and there are like 800 words on it. All right. Let's say I have 3 calls to action to go to Amazon, and it's stated as such. Check out the item on Amazon. The person reads the whole 800 articles, and let's say I'm just going to make it up. Let's say I'm getting like a 30% click-through rate of the people on the page are actually making it over to Amazon. Okay. Let's say I'm thinking, hey, 30% seems low. I need to add like 8 more calls to action. At that point, I mean, thinking about it logically, if the person read the whole article and there are 3 calls to action to go check it out on Amazon, do we think that adding like 8 more would actually like encourage them, or is that just going to be like just more noise at them? My argument is it's probably just more noise at them. So I don't put a ton of affiliate links. I have some distinct calls to action, and that's about it. So, but to answer your question, yeah, you can create too many affiliate links on a page for sure. Okay, Brandon says, I'm ranking fast for keywords now, and you felt you could post 100 articles in 2 months. My thoughts? Sure, go for it. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I'm working on too, just to post a lot of content. So yeah, I would say go for that. The Rain says, you said before that I use SERP Lab for managing keywords. You find the tool unreliable regards to keyword position in Google. Did I notice that too? No. Seems pretty good on my end. So I'm not sure what issues you're having, but I would say don't worry about it. It's pretty good. My friends and I, my mastermind group, like I think all of us are using serplab.uk.co, and seems pretty solid. There may be like little differences, but like that's a real thing. Like if other people Google stuff across different geographies and stuff, even in the US, like you may find that they are slightly different, and that's okay. Josh says, say you made 5,000 last month off 1,200 organic visitors per day. What would my next step be? That's kind of a bad question. I'm not really sure what you're looking for. I'd probably celebrate. I'd look at the backlink, the three things I said before, right? I would look at areas that I could develop more. I would maybe add more content, maybe add more backlinks, but kind of a bad question, Josh. Maybe you want to rephrase it. Lance says, and Josh, by the way, like nothing personal, just I don't know how to answer that question. It's like a hypothetical, not useful question. So Lance says, do I solely focus on the Amazon affiliate program for products, or do I have success with other blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I focus on Amazon affiliate. I have some other things, I guess other sites where there are ClickBank products and stuff. And those, I don't focus on those though. John, what's up? Joseph says, do I target informational long tail keywords? Yes, I sure do. Wesley says, how many posts does the largest site you still own have? I'm not sure. There's a lot, hundreds. Matten says, hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. John says, I have two questions. What was my DA for the 45 article site that we sold? I don't remember, in the 20s, maybe low 30s. About how many backlinks did you have or need? There were like 45 or so, just PBN links, and then I think I got about 50 or so guest post links. And Leo is on. What's up? Happy Friday to you as well. Oh, we'll just take a quick pause. So while I'm brewing some beer today, if people are joining late, I'm brewing beer. That's why I have to stop. And then I kind of put too much stuff in my morning, and then not enough in my afternoon. But I brewed some beer like a couple weeks ago. You may remember an email that I sent out. And if you're totally new, I home brew beer. I'm not like a professional brewer or anything. I home brew beer, really into it. I have like a kegerator, and I'm a certified beer judge. Like I really like beer. But I was moving some beer from like my fermenter to the keg, and like it's just so clear. Like I thought I was going to need to like sort of, I'm holding it right over my laptop, so probably a bad move, but yeah, it's super clear. Really happy with the clarity. It's a Belgian like blonde. Maybe some people would call it a saison, but yeah, super clear. And I think it probably finished at like probably like 6 or 7%, but like super light. It's not carbonated. I have to put it in the kegerator, chill it down, carbonate it and stuff, but it smells great. So tastes pretty good too. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Okay, let's get to it here. You've seen some of my videos. This is from Lisa, but you're still new here. Well, I'm glad you joined up, Lisa. Thank you. How many niche sites do I have now? I have about 3. Do I share what those sites are with my followers? No. It would be awesome to see some of my niche sites. Lisa, you're right. A lot of people say that. I've mentioned it before, like basically all the public case studies that I've ever seen always ended up like with some kind of negative consequence for it being public. There's like negative SEO, there's other things like that, copycats, all that sort of stuff. They all end in like negative areas of like whatever consequence there could be, like it usually ends up bad. Okay. Matin says, what form are your affiliate articles written? Is it like a review or a promotional article where you write only the best things about it? Or it's like a review. It's like a legit review with like pros and cons and stuff like that. Drew says, what's up, Drew? Good to have you on. Who is protection? Do I use it on your money sites or not? Yeah, usually. Some people think it can cause trust issues with Google if there's not an actual name on the domain registration. Yeah, I use who is protection. I'm unfamiliar with like trust issues or whatever on that angle. And I think like Google, like I heard, I don't know if this is true, but like Google has because it's a registrar, they can see like who owns stuff. Okay, Varun says, can I copy images from Amazon? No, you can't. Is that illegal to do? It's not illegal per se, but it's a copyright violation. But the main thing is it's against the terms of service. So it's not illegal, other than the copyright stuff that you may run into, but don't do that. Adrian says, do you have to set up a company? No. What kind of status do you need to have when it comes to declare your earnings? Depends on what country you're in. I'm not sure what you mean of status do you need to have, but basically I operated as a sole proprietor until like a couple months ago. So think about that for a second. I made like pretty decent amount of money and I just operated as a sole proprietor because most people, not most, a lot of people focus on like other details and stuff, like setting up the company and then like worrying about like a logo and a name and stuff like that. I literally ignored it for about 4 years and just focused on like doing the work part that makes money. So I recommend also doing that. Don't get caught up. I know, Adrian, you're new in the area as well. But yeah, you can operate as a sole proprietor. I just declared the earnings as like my like income. So it was taxed here in the US at like, you know, whatever, like 35, 40%. You know, you gotta pay state taxes, you gotta pay federal taxes, and it's a lot of money. So don't forget, you have to pay taxes. Everyone, you should pay your taxes. Matten says, what Google page position is okay? Not sure what you're asking exactly, but you say, is the 5th page too bad a result with KGR? No, that's decent, but there are many variables that come into play. How old's your site? How good is the content? How competitive is the term? So on and so forth. Also, I would say if you only did like 1, you probably need to do more like 8 or 10 or as many as you can handle, because you're going to have some that do really well, and then you're going to have some that don't do as well. All right. Brandon then says, do I think adding 100 more articles within 2 months would be okay? I thought I did answer that one already. And the answer is yes. That would be great. You should do that. It is fine to add that much content in a short period of time. Danish says, what do I do in order to gain backlinks? Guest posting. That's what I do. Matten says, does the SSL certificate help with the conversion? Better visitor trust? I'm not sure. I don't think it has a huge factor, but I've never tested it. I'm not sure. Okay. Brendan says, please drink something. Take a breather. I'm drinking a lot of coffee, and I'm trying to answer everyone's questions before I have to go. And there's nothing like caffeine and beer, uncarbonated beer, to get you going. So, all right. Let's see. Zolufin, cool name. What's my most preferred or best looking product layout method? Do you use Content Egg or some plugin or short codes to build the product or post page? I think I mentioned it before, but you may have not been on not this specific question, but I basically do like the simplest, easiest solution for everything that I can do. So I usually just do a like text with like bunch of subheadings, you know, every say 200 words or so, subheading, several images, you know, maybe like 2 to 5 or so, YouTube video, and that's about it. Buttons, don't use them. Big fancy images, don't use those either. Using a plugin and like a content builder, beautiful page, you need to use Thrive Content Builder and build every single one of the pages. Well, number one, man, that thing is a pain in the ass to use. It's just a nightmare. And then imagine, right, if you have to train a VA to do that, that's kind of a pain in the ass too, because like that tool is so tough to use. So yeah, so I just use the like stuff in WordPress that's available to us, and then I just keep it simple. All right, good question though. A lot of people have great success, by the way. So this is my way, right? So, but other people have great success building those beautiful pages. And, you know, if you only have to do a few of them, maybe you have a small site, if you only have to do a few of them, hey, maybe it's worth it to put the, you know, 5, 10, 15 hours to like build a page like that. Good question. Lufin. Thank you. All right, Adrian has to go. Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Have a good evening. Richard, what's up? Good to have you on. Lisa says, what's the best keyword research tool for free, in my opinion? Keywords everywhere. There's like a bulk checking option, and it integrates well with many other pages. Wesley says, when creating info content and there's a product that can help a person, do I link to it? Yes. Yes, I do. Solopie says, what's the ideal price for an editor? There's no ideal price. It depends on like what you need them to do and mainly your budget. I pay between $10 and $20 per hour. Okay, Josh says, okay, thanks for rephrasing your question. What you mean is, how do you scale to the next level with more traffic and such? That's a deeper question. So I would look at, number one, pages that you're almost ranking for, and then look to optimize those with either more content or more backlinks. And then Josh, I would look at adding more content or more backlinks across the board. So kind of a boring answer. I may have already given that like kind of already once, but basically if you want to get like massive results. So actually, let me rewind. Like last year in like May or June, I was like, oh, you know, my site's doing okay, but I'm not sure like what else to do. Like it was making like maybe $1,000 a month. Pretty good, but not great. I was like, I have been publishing, you know, an article every month or so. Maybe I stepped it up to like once a week, but like nothing much was happening. So I was like, oh, I need to take massive action. I just read the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. If you haven't read it, he's a great sales guy. Very enthusiastic. He will get you pumped up, even if it's a bit over the top. But he does say, like, if you want to get massive results, you need to take massive action. Everything is a little bit harder than we think it's going to be and takes a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. So Josh, I would say, look at, you know, write down what you think you should do, and then maybe like triple or 10X like the effort that you think, and then start working on it. You may find out that you know, one of your assumptions was off, but you won't know until you start. So if you want to get massive results, you have to take massive action. Mike says, if you had a new site, best desk, would I link to things like lamps, mats, or stay in desk? I would start focusing on like something narrow, the desk, and then once I had my site established, once I was ranking and things were in place for the desk, I would branch out to other products. Lorraine says, does my course revolve around Amazon, or can you apply it to any other affiliate programming out there? It mainly applies to Amazon. However, you can take the knowledge that you are getting from the course and then apply it elsewhere. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's really oriented around Amazon. And my argument would be, you should probably like stay in one area and like get good at that before you try and like do other stuff. I'm not sure your level, Lorraine, of experience, but I would say you should probably just focus on one area. Sheik says, thumbs up, everyone. Yeah, thanks for reminding. I am horrible. I actually thought about asking about that early on, but if you're on right now, can you just hit the thumbs up? Especially if I answered one of your questions, just look below the video. I think there's a little thumb and you could click that and I would really appreciate it. All right, we are 9 minutes left, so I'm just gonna try and answer as fast as I possibly can. Solapai says, how can you find a good editor? Okay, you should do this. It's really hard to interview people and like get a handle on what's going on. So you should hire like 4 people, get them to edit your material or whatever you need them to do, and then keep the best one. Hopefully you'll have 2 awesome ones and you'll have to figure out which one to get rid of. So test people with a trial gig and then you can see their work. That's what I recommend. I just did that with a video editor, by the way. I hired 2 of them and one was awesome and one wasn't that great. And I have like 4 others that want to do the trial gig, but I already found one, so I'm just gonna stop. But yeah, test people out. Matt Tim says, what is the minimum price? What minimum price should be item that I review to be worth the work? So I think I go as low as like a couple bucks. However, it depends on like what you're working on exactly. An ideal range is like an average price of between like $75 and $100 product, but it's good to have a range. Okay, Brandon says, you didn't realize the message went through. You're in China, so the connection gets odd. No worries, man. Sheik says, do I use ghostwriters from Upwork to do guest posts? Yes, I do. Paul says, Google favors SSL. That's true. Matin says, do you recommend using give me your mail form for future deals? Or does it mess with ranking somehow? If you're in the right place to build an email list, you should do it. But if you're not, you should not do it. Does it mess with the Google ranking? If you have like annoying pop-up forms and stuff, that could be an issue, but generally it's not. Then Josh says, have I ever thought about venturing outside Amazon Associates and getting into other affiliate programs? Every now and then I'll think about it, but not really. So the answer is not really. Metim says, are my links internal or external target _ blank with normal redirect from the same tab? They are, yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, they're _ blank, so it opens in a new tab. Vicus says, would the 5-figure niche site course work for high competitive niches? Yeah, it would. And the thing is with like high competition, like you can compete. It just takes longer. You need to have a bigger budget. You need to be more patient, but like all this stuff applies. Vicus, if it's your first, if it's one of your first ventures into this, I would recommend not doing a high competition niche, but everyone has a different tolerance for like how much work they'll do without getting any results. Thing is, if it takes a long time, you're going to be working for like 6, 18, 12 months, or 6, 12, 18, 24 months before you're like getting much money back in. And yeah, so it's just, if you have patience and you have a budget, then you should go for it. Matin is on fire. What's my opinion on one brand niche sites like Nike, blah, blah, blah? I don't do those. I think that probably kind of narrow you down. Lorraine says, does Amazon release a suspension after they found something wrong, or is it a banishment forever? I'm not sure. Luckily, I haven't had that happen. I think they can, in some cases, I think they like put you on a suspension and then tell you what was wrong so you can fix it. Other times, depending on what the infraction is, I don't know how they decide this, you could be kicked out. However, you can form a company and then enroll again under the company. It has a different tax ID, so you'd be all right with that. Super says, you're listening to the Freedom Flipping podcast with Richard. Cool, thanks for listening. Josh says, you're scared the KGR is not enough search volume. Are you being paranoid? I don't know. Everyone's a little different, and I'm making good money with a KGR. I think a lot of other people are too. So if you don't do it, that means more keywords for everybody else. So, all right, it looks like we're at the end of the questions. Brandon says, would I happen to have any other suggestions for writers besides Upwork? I haven't used them, but I could list off a bunch of places that you could look. You can go to Craigslist, try and hire someone from there. You can go to like Text Broker, which I think is not very good. I haven't had good luck with them. You can go to iWriter, also very expensive, not good quality. And oh, and it's Martin. Okay, that's cool. Martin, that's easier for me to say. Thank you. All right, and then you can, I think Craigslist is probably a good spot, but I'm trying to think if there's any other like marketplaces. If you just want, by the way, there's actually, if you go to my site, look at some of the recent blog posts on content. Like there are three suppliers that basically handle everything. So my friend Dom at Human Proof Designs, I'm an affiliate for all these, by the way. So if you use them, I'll get a commission. But they're good services. They're expensive, but they handle like everything for you. So they'll even post it in WordPress, draft it in WordPress for you. So we got Dom at Human Proof. We have Content Refine. That's John Haver, another friend of mine. And then Hoth. They have a service, the Blogger service. And I talked and worked with the COO, Clayton, so they're doing a great job down at the Hoth also. Any of those three are full service and like very good quality. All right, any last questions? Okay, and then Martin says, last question, what's the #1 tip for someone who wants to start today? Stop listening to me and watching my videos and go start doing something. Okay, cool, everyone. Thanks for hopping on. Lorraine tried to ask one more. I said I was going to talk about KGR more. Does it include new insights? No, just cleaner. And then people ask a lot of the same questions over and over and over again. So I know that like that's a gap in the previous videos and the information that I provide. So I just need to like answer those questions. So it'll probably just be more detailed stuff. And cool, Brandon. Yeah, I'm glad you're fired up. Everyone go do something and stop watching my videos. Actually, keep watching the videos. I gotta be careful what I'm saying, but you get the point. It's much better to take action than to keep learning. So at some point you have enough knowledge, you just have to execute and learn by doing. Lance says, when I have a guest post for someone, do I usually post a guest post for them on your website? No, I don't do that. Cool. All right, I'm out of here. I got to go check on the boil out there. I have like a propane burner, and hopefully everything's cool out there. But everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'll do another live one. But yep, we're on the normal publishing schedule. We'll see you around here.